Hello everyone, just a follow on from my last video regarding the elbow escape. We're going to go into a few sort of basic submissions for Jiu-Jitsu. I got told off last time that I didn't introduce myself. My name's Craig Sheridan, this is Kieran, my son. Yeah, but I'm a second dan in Jiu-Jitsu. He's a brown white, so he's not far from being a junior black. Been doing it for a long time. Kieran started training at the age of 5. He's now 14. He looks very happy to be on the video, as you can tell, because Daddy's about to beat him up. So he's obviously, we do feel for him. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go through basically the 5 basic most used and what white belts should know, really, the most used submissions, and how we can tie them together as well. There's 2 sets, and then the final third one, which is like a go-to, and then we'll go from there. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to go into the Americana. So if you want to line your back. So what I'll do is I'll show you from full mount, because this is probably the easiest way to get yourself used to doing it. Obviously when you're training, you don't want to hurt your partner or break them, but I might okay. But it's just really sort of just to get used to the feeling for them and for you, so you're both learning obviously from the experience of the submissions. So normally obviously we would fight from here, and then obviously as I'm aiming for something, Kieran will be defending. He doesn't really want to push his arms up too much, because then I can start attacking the arm. We'll go on to that in a minute. But the main thing really is, as I crouch down, what I'm aiming to do is get his arm into this like 90-degree shape here, and my elbow right tight to his head. Now a lot of people, they come in from here. This is actually quite hard to go in this way, because if Kieran keeps himself strong and tries to stop me getting my arm underneath, it doesn't matter where I go, I'm not really going to get it in. So normally I'll go palm up, because it makes it a little bit easier to fight. Because it's just, I don't know why really, I think it's just the palms a little bit easier to go through other than the knuckles. If you're doing MMA and you've got your gloves on, it makes it a little bit harder again. So from here we're going to scoop our hand underneath and then grab my own wrist from there. Notice that I'm not grabbing round with the thumb. The reason behind it is because basically there is a way that they can lock the thumb, and basically you'll kind of lose the submission. So from here, basically what I'm looking to do is, if you imagine Kieran's hand's a paintbrush, I'm looking to paint a stripe straight down. So literally going towards his feet from there. So as I come in, all I'm literally going to do is just pull it all the way, and his elbow will naturally lift as we go through. So we're literally just sliding down, and then there goes the tap. So that's the Americana, some call it key lock. I think there are a couple of other names for it as well, but they're the main 2 that most people will know it as. Second one we're going to go for is the straight arm lock. We're going to go for the traditional straight arm lock. So for this, I'm going to tilt Kieran around the other way. So the idea is basically, maybe I've gone for this, and he's started to defend it. So for the camera, we'll go this side. So I've gone for this. He started to defend it, so he's going to reach his arm over, and he's going to try and grab his own wrist to stop me being able to get this lock on. So what I'm going to now do is I'm going to scoop myself up. So we'll go for the traditional way to make it easy for people to see. So most of the time, especially for beginners, is when I'm leaning down, they push up. Once they lock their elbows out, this makes this a lot easier. Now from here, I'm going to cup the arm, and as I cup the arm, I'm going to scoop myself up and sit myself right on him. I'm trying to hold my weight off him so I don't crush him. But as I come in, I'm going to squeeze sort of my knees together, turn to the side, fall down, make sure his thumb, as Kieran's trying to say he's okay, pointing to the ceiling. As I dip there, I'm going to squeeze my knees together, lift my hips up, and there goes the arm lock. So again, get back where you are. You're trying to run away. So again, like I said, the way that we join this together, so I'm gone for this, he comes to defend it, and as he comes in, I'm going to scoop that arm up, drop it back into this position again, straight over, thumbs in the air, knees squeezed together, hips in the air, away we go. So that's the straight arm lock. But as a white belt as well, you find yourself on your back a lot, because if you're fighting someone as a little bit more sort of a higher belt, or just basically they're bigger and stronger, you could end up finding yourself in this position. So we're now what they call a guard, a close guard, so my legs are wrapped around them. So what I'm going to aim for now is I'm going to aim to do a Kimura. So basically a Kimura is coming right round and locking the arm. So what I tend to do for this is, like, as we're fighting and we're trying to get a grip, my main aim is to basically get his hand to the floor. Now, a lot of mistakes white belts make is that I will do this, see where Kieran keeps his hands in. Right, a lot of white belts, what they would do is hands hit the floor as soon as you try pulling them up. That is a big no-no, because now it makes it easy for me to come up and take that arm. So what we're looking at doing is secure that wrist. Yeah, so again, thumb out. I don't like doing it like this because again they can put a thumb lock on and it's quite painful, so I tend to go just literally cupping the hand and just squeezing the wrist against their knee. Now from there, what I'm going to do is, as I bring my knees towards me, I'm going to basically bring my arm up and over his left shoulder. So all the way up like that. And I'm going to bring my arm underneath. If you can't grab your own wrist, don't worry. The main thing you're looking for is that 90 degrees on the elbow again. And then, if you can, great. And then literally all I want to do now is basically put his finger in his ear, over here. So I'm literally just going to all the way across, and there's the tap. Some people won't get that far because their shoulders are a lot tighter, but in being young, he's still got supple shoulders for now. So again, we're coming in here, I bring him forward, even if I get the arms down, just get it to the floor. As I get to the floor, lift all the way up, so my shoulder is sitting right on top of his shoulder. Reach down, get that 90-degree bend, grab your own wrist, and then put the finger in the ear. And away you go. Right, so we go for, the next one was a good one for there, is the guillotine. So people can see it. Come in this way. Back in. Right, so from here, so we're fighting, I've pinned him, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, but he's going to defend. So as he goes to defend, he's going to sit himself up to try and stop me getting to his arm. So I'm going to wrap around his neck from here. So lift yourself up. So basically, as I wrap round, I want to get sort of like the bony part literally under his throat, and then sort of in his Adam's apple, just there. Right, so literally from here, so I've pulled him in, I've come up for it, and as he's tried to sit himself up to try and stop me getting that arm, and he's pulled his arms in tight, he's grabbed hold of my belt, I can't get it, I'm going to wrap around his neck. Now, what I want to do now is, I want to basically feed this hand in to grab my own hand, my own wrist, and then I'm going to lean towards where his head is. Now, a lot of people say lock up on the back, lock up in the legs. You do what works for you. I prefer coming across the back, and I tend to triangle because it squeezes the air out of their lungs while I'm squeezing the air out of their neck. So come from here, and all I'm going to do is pull my arm up in this sort of motion, in a guillotine motion, as I lean to the side, and there's the tap. Not pleasant, is it? But we're going to do it again. So, comes in, I'm going to put him in, I'm going to go for that first one. He sits himself upright and grabs my belt, stops me being able to yank it. So therefore I reach all the way around, go under his neck, feed my hand through, but I normally go through this little gap towards my belly and then back up again and lean to the side, and there goes the guillotine. And that leads us to the last one, your favourite. So the last one of the go-to moves for a white belt to learn is the rear naked choke. See, we're going to do it from the seated position just so you can get an understanding. I mean, there's many ways of actually getting this on, but obviously fundamentally you need to be behind them. Now, a lot of people hook in with their feet like this, which is perfectly fine. If you can, hook across like that as well. But again, it just squeezes the air out of them whilst you're locking up. It's entirely your choice which one you pick. As long as they're in tight, that's the main thing. Don't leave them all loose, because it kind of gives them a way out. So you keep them in nice and tight. Now normally when you get into this position, you'll have one over, one under. You'll go into this like seatbelt grip. Now the main thing you're looking for is the crook of my elbow to be right in line with his chin. So I'm going to come up to here. Now as I come up to here, and I'm going to start fighting from here, generally he's going to try and defend. So as he tries to defend, you alright?
Yeah.
I'm choking you already?
It's my neck hurts.
If you're in a gi, grab your gi and then change over with your arm. So as you come into it, I normally try and hold this wrist, and I'll start fighting from in here, and I normally grab my own gi, and then when I'm ready, I will let go and then swap. If I can, what I will try and do is get this down by his belt, and I will scoop my foot over the top. Stops him being able to defend it, makes the transition from my arm a little bit easier, and then I'll come up, grab the crook of my elbow, and then I use the back of my hand to slide down the back of his neck and then squeeze from there. One thing I will say about this is that sometimes that you try and bring this up, they drop their chin. Now, a lot of people, especially the newer people to the jiu-jitsu, they will tend to sort of give up because they think, can't get it in, or they try and fight for this. Don't worry. Literally, just squash the face. And if you are stuck and you can't get this arm out because you didn't get to secure that and he's defending this arm, so if you defend this arm, Kieran, this one, so he's defending it, don't worry, you can grab your gi, put your head in nice and tight and squash. Or if you're really struggling, you can tuck this forearm behind and also squash as well. Right. Got sweat on. Got sweat on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Hope that helps. Obviously, with anything that I show you on the videos, try and do them both sides. So don't always train on one side, because you never know when you're actually ground fighting or you're in an MMA fight or anything like that. It might not present itself that side, so you need to be strong doing it on both sides. So always practice on the left and the right. Hope that helps. Happy training. See you next time.